What's up, y'all? This weekend is the Manny Pacquiao Shane Mosley fight. Is it just me, or have y'all noticed that this fight isn't generating the excitement like past Pacquiao fights? Uh, it could be because Shane is such a heavy underdog. I don't know. Could be because most of the fans just don't give him a shot. I don't give him much of a shot, but I don't know, the anticipation, the build up, it's just not there right now. Maybe it'll be different the closer we get to the fight. But I was thinking, since this fight is being picked up by Showtime, Fight Camp 360 is more like a documentary where HBO used, when they do the 24/7, even if they don't have a bad guy, they at least edit it where they create storylines to try to, generate more excitement, more buzz for the fight. But I don't know, usually Manny could walk into an arena with some boxing gloves and no matter who he's fighting, everybody just eats it up. But this one, even the people that are gonna watch the fight just don't seem excited about it. It seems like just a ordinary fight. Anyway, when this fight was first made, I dogged it, I trashed it, and I did it because I just felt like Bob Arum and Freddie Roach were being, so hypocritical. Because when Shane beat Margarito, he was begging for the fight, and they wouldn't touch him. But when he gets dominated by Mayweather, he fights to a draw with Mora. They say he's past his prime. He's lost it. And now then when it came time to for Manny to find an opponent, when Floyd wasn't available, they didn't see anyone else that would, I guess, generate the money that they were looking for. Oh, Shane has speed, power, experience. He's dangerous. He hurt Mayweather. All of a sudden, Shane is the perfect opponent. I just didn't like that. I felt like even though Manny would beat some of the younger guys, instead of fighting these retreads, I felt like, or fighting these in-house top-ranked fighters, it was time for Manny to finally fight some of the young guys, fight these guys that are hungry, guys that hadn't been in these wars where, they've lost will start to decline. Anyway, I said then that I wasn't going to watch the fight. My thoughts hadn't changed. My plan on Saturday is to go to Kentucky, not Louisville, but, go to one of the smaller tracks at a closer, one of the local tracks, and bet on some of the preliminary races, bet on the Derby, and I wish Hangover 2 was coming out this weekend, because I'd go see that. I'm sure I'll watch it. I know my brother probably going to, he probably gonna order the fight. If I don't see it Saturday, I know I'll see the replay. But as far as the fight itself, my thoughts hadn't changed. I just think that Shane's camp, Nazim Richardson, some other guys that have spoke from Shane's camp say Manny's comes right at him. He comes to fight. Well, that's true, but it's almost like, are y'all trying to convince us that this fight's gonna be competitive, or are you trying to convince yourselves? Because saying that, well, Shane does great against fighters that come right at him, like Margarito. Against Mayweather and Mora, there was a defensive fighters. Man, look, Mayweather was defensive. He was still in his defensive shell, but he was walking Shane down. He took the fight to Shane. He was letting his hands go a lot more in that fight, opening up. And what did Shane do? He couldn't pull the trigger, you know? After those first 2 rounds, he was lost in there. Once Mayweather made those adjustments, so you know, enough of this justifying the Mayweather makes everybody feel look bad argument, because Mayweather didn't fight his characteristic fight, defensive fight. You know, he fought a lot more offensive, and you couldn't deal with it. Period. Against Mora, oh, well, he's herky jerky. Nobody looks good against Mora. He's defensive. That's true, but you fought him to a draw. I know Vernon Forrest lost to him, but come on, man. You fight Mora to a draw. You get dominated the fight before that, and all of a sudden we're supposed to give you a shot against Manny Pacquiao. All of a sudden you deserve this fight. I just think not, and I just think the speed is going to be too much for him. Mosley has a few things that he does that are all wrong for him in this fight. Number one, he's jittery, you know, like Mayweather Sr. said before he fought Floyd. He said, "You watch how Shane gonna be so jittery once he get in there, and Floyd gonna be relaxed." And that's exactly what happened. Shane got to where he does this thing where he's just so jittery, which is crazy for a fighter with 2 decades in this sport at the top level. That ain't gonna get it, you know. All that wasted motion against Manny. 2, he gasses. Mark my words. If this fight goes into the later rounds, watch around round 8 or 9 when Nassim Richardson's giving instructions in the corner. Shane gonna have his mouth wide open, huffing and puffing. Watch. Shane threw the jab in the Margarito fight. He threw it for the first 2 rounds of the Mayweather fight, but prior to that, the jab is just not in his arsenal. It's just a flicker, and that ain't gonna get it, you know, unless he uses his jab. Because he can't pull the trigger as it is, and he don't throw in combination as much. He loads up on shots, so how you gonna set anything up against a target that's always moving? Y'all think Manny gonna come straight at you. Manny's gonna come at you in angles. He gonna step off, step to the right, bang, 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 step to the right, bang, 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 step to the right. And I see in those exchanges, when he does that, I can see Shane maybe trying to time him and walk him into one of those left hooks as when he does that stepping to the right. But Shane gonna have to use better footwork, because Shane got to where he's clumsy too. Watch how his feet get tangled up nowadays. Shane's got a couple flaws, and Freddie Roach is great at exploiting things. I know Nas Richardson is, but can Shane implement it? Because he gets so jittery in there, and it's almost like the game plan just goes out the window. Bottom line, if Shane Mosley wins this fight, he's going to have to knock Manny Pacquiao out, because he's not going to win a decision, because he doesn't have the work rate. He gasses out. If it goes 12, Manny wins easy. I know Shane may try to clinch and hold, but I just think if he lets Manny get into a rhythm, this fight is over. I say, and I've seen a video where a guy said, you know, Shane has that straight right hand. No, he doesn't. Shane has that overhand right, what Jim Lampton calls a buggy whip right hand. It's you can see it coming. It's looping. You know, he loads up on those right hands, and he has to catch Manny in the first 4 or 5 rounds with that shot and hurt him. And this time, it's like, unlike the Mayweather fight, he's gonna have to finish it. If Manny can stand up to him, Manny gonna have a good night. I think this fight will be exciting, at least for a couple rounds. It's going to be explosive for a couple rounds. It's in these fighters' nature to fight. Shane Mosley, in my opinion, is not a pure boxer. He's a boxer disguised. He's a puncher disguised as a boxer. You know, he tries to bounce, move around, but when it comes down to it, he's going to fight. I think, you know, Manny is going to fight him too because he's a crowd pleaser. But if he wanted to, he could use angles and just throw those laser-like combinations at him, turn him in and out, and he could stay away. I believe he could stay away from Mosley all night. But when when those exchanges happen is when we're gonna get the fireworks, which I believe will be the first part of the fight. So the way I see it, Mosley is gonna have to land a right hand. If he can, try to throw straight right hands to catch Pacquiao out of position, which he doesn't get out of position much like he used to, you know. Here lately, his footwork's been a lot better. But if he can counter Manny like Marquez does, catch Manny when he's backing out, he'll have a chance to get him. If he can catch him with one of those big looping right hands, which I gotta think that Freddie Roach has been preparing for that overhand right all camp. They're gonna be ready. They're gonna be watching for it. It'll be subtle footwork to where Manny's gonna try to get out of the way of those shots. So Shane's gonna have to either try to land that left hook that he put Fernando Vargas out with, or land a straight right or overhand right, something early to knock Manny Pacquiao out. That's the only shot he has. I predict that Shane's gonna get stopped in around about the 9th or 10th round, or Nas Richardson gonna have to stop this fight. That's my prediction. That Shane's gonna get stopped. But if that doesn't happen, I say it goes more than likely to a 12-round decision. Tell me what y'all think.